Hello, dear friends. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. We're going to have a look at the Turtley Sweet Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. I'm so excited to share this with you. Even I surprised myself at how much I loved it when I finished. So this is going to create 16 12 by 12 pages. And I think you guys are going to be really surprised at how easy and quick it's going to be to put together. So of course, we've done a little bit of work with the Cricut. We'll talk more about how you guys can get the Cricut pieces in your hands in a moment. And just minimal paper trimming. There's really not a whole lot of paper trimming with your trimmer. So I think you guys will be able to breeze right through it. It's not going to take long at all. But we are going to use the Turtley Sweet Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. That is over in the online store. You also can find it in the annual catalog for $34. And it's designed to create 6 pages, but you guys know me, I like to stretch the paper. So we used the workshop kit and those papers that were included in it. And then rather than supplementing with cardstock, which I normally do, I supplemented with half of the pack of the Turtley Sweet or Turtley Cute pattern paper. So that gave us a few more turtle sheets, which also gave us the ability to use a few more of the punny turtle titles that you'll see when we flip through the pages. I really just had way too much fun. So we were able to get 16 pages by mixing the workshop kit and then half of the turtle DSP. So I'm thrilled with how it turned out, just to be completely honest. So you guys are going to get, if you are unfamiliar with my workshop files, you have very easy to read cutting slides. And so I like for you, and what I encourage my customers to do is while you guys are cutting your papers really quickly with your trimmer, I encourage you to make your piles. So since there are 8 layouts, you're going to essentially have 8 piles. Now, some people will just put them on a table. Some people, I have a customer that has like a 12 by 12 accordion folder, and as she cuts a piece for layout number 6, it goes in pocket number 6. And every time you cut a piece, you just sort it right then. That saves you from getting done with your cutting, having to go back and then measure everything and making sure you get the 6 by 8 piece in the right pile and the 4 by 3 piece in the right pile. Just sort them as you cut them. So after you've cut the 9 by 7 piece, put it in pile number 5 for layout number 5. The L's and the R's means that it goes on the right side, the right page of layout number 5. The 5L means it's going to go on the left page of layout number 5. So very, very simplistic. If you see a piece that has a hashtag on it, it just means it's going to use the reverse side of that pattern. So when you're cutting the turtles that are watering the flowers, okay, you are going to put those pieces in layout number 5. So pile number 5. And then if you were to come to a piece that had a hashtag, flip that pattern over and put it in the designated notation that's on that piece. But if you will sort it, I have a fly, sorry about that. If you will sort it as you cut it, that's going to save you a lot of time sorting later, okay? You're going to see, I like to use the paper up. There is not very many scraps left over, just a few pieces that you have some scraps, and you'll notice the ones that have leftovers are sized, and if you could probably use them for a card or like a fun little journaling tag or something like that. So they're not little teeny tiny, but I really do my best to use up as much of the paper as I can so that your pages do not feel empty and plain and that kind of thing. So you've got your cardstock on here is the same. You've got all the notations that tells you exactly where those pieces go and which pile to put them in. Then you will notice as you continue to flip through here, all of your Cricut print and cut. This workshop does use Cricut. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, hang tight. I'll tell you how you can get all the Cricut pieces for free. Just one moment, okay? But if you're cutting your own using Cricut print and cut, you are going to see in the supply listing that I will link in the blog post below. You will see that I have used various Cricut fonts and the Cricut Access subscription. So if you guys are creating this and you're planning on cutting yourself, you're going to need to have those images in your Cricut catalog to be able to cut them, okay? I don't have control over what Cricut does, all right? We have to play by its rules. And so if it says we have to make sure we own an image, That's what we have to do. So I just have Cricut Access, the monthly subscription. That way I can cut all of the things and I don't have to worry about paying for them individually. So you'll notice when you go to cut those pieces, they also have the notation. So you'll see 8R, 8L, same philosophy. Pile number 8 for that layout. This goes on the left side when you're working on placement. This one goes on the right side when you're working on placement, okay? So all of your Cricut print and cut pieces are noted like that. So you know where everything's gonna go. So as you pull these off your Cricut mat, put them in the corresponding piles. When you're done, you're gonna have 8 piles that if you've sorted correctly, all of the pieces that are required to put those pages together are all right there together. So what that means is that if maybe you only have a little bit of time and you only have time to get to one layout at a time, right? Maybe after dinner when the kiddos are in bed or something like that. You have all the pieces for layout number 1 or whichever layout you choose right there together. So you don't every time have to go back to your big pile and pull all the pieces out. You've already done the sorting. That is one of the most time-consuming parts of creating a workshop like this is the sorting. So sort as you go and the hard work will be done for you that way, okay? So again, more of the Cricut print and cut. I went a little wild with it. Then you've got your die cut sheets. Now these are punch out sheets that come with the workshop kits. These are not stickers. These are punch out sheets. And so you're gonna look at, pull those out of your workshop kit and you have notations for those as well. So punch those out, put them in the corresponding file or pile, and you're ready to go. This is your sticker sheet, same thing there. It shows you which stickers go with each page, okay? So you can pull those off, you can cut around them if you want, or you can just pull them off the sheet as you need them on the page. That's usually what I do. So it's kind of whatever works best for you guys. You'll notice these big long border strips down here, I've made a notation that I cut them into 2 3/4, okay? So you'll just cut those into that width or width. Honestly, these widths are just, it's going to be okay if you don't get them exactly right because they're just a little decorative pieces. They don't really need to be a certain length. This is, can work for approximate if you want to feel a little bit more freely doing that, but it'll show you exactly which layouts they need to go to and how long of the piece that I used, okay? So same thing with the stickers as all of the others. Then it shows you what your base pages are, just for sake of using pieces that come in the workshop kit. There is a layout, like the last layout has one of each of a different color. And if you look at the layout, you'll notice you can't even tell it the way the paper is placed. So you're never even gonna know. It's just essentially using a background color that nobody is going to see because that's the sheet that came in the kit and that's what we wanted to use to make it the most efficient of our paper, right? Then on the files themselves, you have the large photo of the layout spread. But if you go to the Google folder, the link is in the files that you guys will get when you get the workshop. You will be able to find all of the up close photos of all the clusters and all the little embellishments. So it will show you exactly how I placed my elements and what went underneath what and what got tucked in the little nooks and crannies and that kind of thing. So you have a lot of up close photos, kind of the money shots, if you will, to help you get your photo or your embellishments and your clusters arranged in a really pleasing way. I do not have step-by-step instructions, and I will tell you that I've been creating workshop files since 2013, and I can count on less than 5 fingers the number of times I've actually had someone run into trouble putting the workshop together with no instructions. And it's just because my layouts are very, very simplistic. And basically what I have said for many years is it's just like putting a puzzle together. You look at the photo, you put the papers down that match the photo, and you're good to go. There's really no, you don't have to get too fancy about measuring and things like that. I have very few papers that overlap where you would need to know measurements and that kind of thing. It's really, you're just kind of covering up the base pages with your papers. And so again, it's very simplistic. I know there are a lot of pages and it might potentially look a little overwhelming, but I assure you, it is not. I really feel like you guys are going to see how quick and easy and enjoyable this process is. So at the end of your files, you have all of the photos, of the main pages, right? The layouts all laid out so you can see everything. So this will kind of get you going. But again, if you wanted to see the up close course photos, those are in the Google folder as well. Now inside the files, if you might be new to Cricut Print and Cut, again, you're going to want to make sure that you have that subscription or own those images. If you're fluent with Cricut, but maybe you're not fluent with Cricut Print and Cut, inside my files, I have 2 tutorials for you that will get your machine calibrated and it'll get you off and running. And that is well under 30 minutes. Like you guys can be, if you have a Cricut machine that you are used to working in under 30 minutes, you can be off to the races with Print and Cut. You just need a color printer, any color printer. I just have a very inexpensive, it's a $100 printer that I use for mine. And I print hundreds of sheets a month, okay? You just need a color printer and you just need your Cricut machine. That's all it's going to take. It is incredible what you can do with the Print and Cut software. It's incredible. And so you'll be off to the races. And as I said, if you guys are like, Suze, I love it all, but I don't have a Cricut. I don't want to learn my Cricut. It's overwhelming to think about it. I just want to put the pieces together, the pages together. I will tell you, I have a program when you shop on my website, which the link will be down below this video. When you shop on my shopping website, I have tiers where if you spend a dollar amount, you can get free project kits in the mail. And so one of the project kits that you can get this month is what I call the add-on kit. So it's the Cricut add-on kit for the Turtley Suite Scrapbooking Workshop. What that means is the kit is going to be all of the pieces that require Cricut to cut. And if you spend $75 on my shopping website, and it doesn't matter what you spend, maybe you already have the turtle paper, you bought it from somebody else, and you don't want to rebuy it, then you can buy something else in its place. You just have to spend $75 and reach out to me and let me know which kit you would like. If you want the turtle kit, that's the kit I will send you, providing I still have it in stock. Once I run, I don't restock them. So once I run out, it's like a first come, first serve thing. And so what that means is if you get the add-on kit for the Turtle Workshop, it means the only thing you have to cut is with your paper trimmer. You do not need to own a Cricut, have a Cricut, and know how to use a Cricut to put it together, because all of the Cricut pieces you earned for free and I will ship them right to your doorstep, okay? And so you'll see as we go through the pages, it's all of these really punny turtle titles and a lot of really fun different custom designs. So I get the hex code numbers that we get from the Stampin' Up colors and I match them to the papers. So it all is gonna coordinate. Again, like I really have a good time with this. This is one of my favorite things that I do in my business every single month. I love to play in Cricut, and my customers love the Cricut as well. So it's really fun because even if you guys were to get the add-on kit, but maybe you are fluent with Cricut and you're able to cut more of these now. And so maybe you want to put more turtle pages together that don't look like mine. You can still use these same pieces just by cutting them again. And so when you get the files from me, now you guys have the ability to use those elements. And a lot of them are completely my own design. Like this wheel, this Viewmaster, I created that from squares and circles on Cricut. Like this is my own design. I custom made that. Same way with the film strip. This is my custom design. That's just squares and rectangles. You're not gonna be able to buy an image that looks like that because I made that myself. And so once you get a file from me, then you have those images for as long as you're in the Cricut, have those images within Cricut, you're good to go. And so it's kind of like the resources can continue, you can continue using those should you choose to do that. And so rather than go through all of these and let you see what they are, I'm just going to show them to you on the pages. And so another little hidden thing regarding resources is that inside the Cricut file, those of you that plan to cut your own, there are a few additional words and shapes that are not shown on the pages or included in the kit. So like there are some cute little green banners that I used in the workshop. There's some red banners in the Cricut file. So if you want red banners, you can cut red banners. Some of these that do not have turtles, I used for this one, for instance, Totally Unforgettable for the title. In the Cricut file, I made the word that matches Turtley Unforgettable. So if you wanted to use turtle paper with this and then focus on another punny turtle title, you can use Turtley Unforgettable instead of Totally Unforgettable. Okay, so you have a lot of variety or versatility depending on what you guys want to make your pages about. I had a lot of fun with the punny turtle tiles, but if you're like, yeah, I'm not doing turtles all the pages, then you might like what I designed for you on the pages that don't use the turtles, right? So you can see this one is really fun because it has 6 full-size photos and then 10 tiny photos. And so you could either put tiny photos in here, or you could use it for a journaling space. You could put memorabilia in there if you want. You could put some of your pattern paper scraps if you want in there. It's up to you, but you have this really fun film strip with the windows cut out, so that if you wanted to use little teeny tiny photos, you absolutely could, or you could put something else in its place. So you can see just some really fun clustering, which is kind of what I do. I like to have a few focal points on the page with some satellite embellishments and a lot of things piled on top of each other, usually with some twine or thread in there, because I love that. And my go-to with the twine or the thread, let's see if you can see this, is I like to, let's see if we can get the webcam to focus. I like to cut it or tie a knot and then cut about 1/4 of an inch and then fray the edges. I just think that is ridiculously cute. That's my favorite way. I don't normally have any twine that doesn't have the little knot with the little tassel on the end. I just love that. So just some fun little simplistic embellishments kind of scattered throughout. And by the time you get your photos on here, it's going to look fantastic, you guys. Absolutely fantastic. So some fun, colorful fonts so that you'll be able to match it with a lot of different photos that you guys may have. If you're matchy girls, if you want to match your photos to the papers, then you'll have good luck doing that. See these little green and yellow banners? So I have another color of the banners that I made in Cricut. So again, if you guys wanted to access those and use different color banners, you absolutely could do that. This one is What a Celebration, which I thought was completely hysterical. Yeah, as I say all the time, I think I'm more funny than you do. That's okay. But I have a few little bows here. So again, these are not really, it's celebration, but there's really like, there's no birthday cake on this one. So it could really be anything that you're celebrating, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a birthday or a party type atmosphere kind of thing like that. This one also says Shell Shocked. I do love the little turtles and I love the punch of red on this one. Very fun. This little bit of a journaling space over here that I conveniently covered up with linen thread and balloons, but you could choose not to if you would like. This one is a birthday theme. This one is Another Year Celebrating You, because it has birthday turtles. So again, we had to find a way to make a title to tie in with the turtles, and I feel like we accomplished that, right? 5 really great usable photo spaces, full-size photos there. You've got just some fun little stickers here, little turtle popping onto the birthday cake. Again, a few more of those little balloons. And again, I feel like it just turned out really, really cute. Very simplistic. That's my style. You get a little journaling space down here as well if you'd like to document. This is another one that does not have turtles featured, but again, you could use the turtley, so Turtley in Love, if you wanted to use turtle paper instead. And it's been a while since I've looked at the Cricut file. I know I have some other words in there. I just can't remember what they are, but I know I have turtley that I didn't end up using. But you've got Turtley in Love and Better Together with some really fun angular photos that are kind of fun. Again, a few more of those Viewmasters. I got a little obsessed with that thing. I had to use him multiple times, but I loved being able to pull in the rainbow colors. I just love a rainbow palette in everything. It makes me very happy, and I love it because you're going to be able to pull out any colors of your photos pretty much that's in this color palette. So that makes me really happy. So you've got Turtley in Love or Totally in Love and Better Together. This is one that features our turtles. This is It's Shelfie Time and Shell Yeah, which my husband laughed hysterically when he saw that one. This one also has the film strips. But you can, this one does not have windows cut out. So again, like remember, I did that on purpose so you guys have one of each, or a pair of each. So again, for those of you that plan on recutting the file multiple times, you have a set of frames that have the window in them, and you have a set of frames that do not have the window. So you get to pick and choose, and it just gives you more variety to use on future projects. So, you know, they're black and white, so they're going to match anything, as is the camera. I think you guys are going to get a lot of life out of these should you choose to use them again. So it's Shelfie Time. You got, again, more really great usable full-size photos with that fun little camera there. I love the green background on this one. I didn't think I would like it at first, but I think it turned out to be one of my favorites. And it's just, again, very simplistic. Reason why I told you guys it's okay that you don't get your those pieces on the stickers exactly right. You know, you can tear See, it doesn't really matter if you get it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, not really a big deal, right? It's just more about adding a little bit of a decorative element there, and using what we had available, right? So here's another one. Here's another example of that, tearing that little piece there. So it's okay if it's a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, no big deal. This one, again, is another punny turtle. So turtly, the best trip ever. So if you don't want turtly, that's when you substitute totally, right? So you can use the best trip ever, and instead of turtly, then we would use totally. So again, you got a lot of versatility, whether you want to feature turtles or not feature turtles, it's up to you. This one I love too. A shell of a good story. I think one of the other titles that I have that I didn't end up using that's still in the Cricut file is a shell of a good time, I think. So you guys can, again, you could pick and choose if you wanted to do a different one. But again, a lot of really great photo spaces, just some fun little embellishment clusters here and there. This one has a beach theme to it, little sandcastle. Little beach turtle with a little sunscreen, right? You got some barbecue turtles up there. And again, like it's just a fun, colorful, summery layout that I absolutely adore. This one has fun turtle titles as well, just chillaxing. So instead of relaxing, it's chillaxing. On Turtle Time and Slow-Mo Memories, which again, I like all of them. I get a little carried away with my titles and my larger focal images sometimes, which I absolutely did on a lot of these pages. So if it gets a little overwhelming for you guys when you're putting your photos on here, you know, it looks a little different from my perspective because I am creating pages that just have these photo placeholders. When you get your photos on there, depending on the photos themselves, it could go one or two ways. It could either really busy up your layout even further, or your photos could actually have a bit of a calming effect. And you might find that you want to add a little more embellishing on there. So you guys get to decide. But if you want to take off some of the stickers or some of the titles because maybe your photos are adding a little bit more than you had planned, then it's easy. Now you just have another turtle title or another title to use on a different project or another die cut to use on a different project, which is completely up to you guys and how you want your photos to look or your pages to look whenever you're finished, right? So then this one is the other one that has a birthday themed. So you've got, again, your birthday turtles here with their candles. Let's celebrate and celebrating in style. So you've got some fun, again, punny turtle titles with a birthday theme. This one is probably the most busiest of all of them. So it got a little bit wild and crazy. So again, when you put your photos on here, you'll just have to decide whether it's a little too much or you need to add, you know, a few more dots or a few more stars. So I really hope that you guys will enjoy this. So again, you can get the Turtle Workshop in several different ways. So if you place a $75 order on my shopping website, you're going to get all of the pre-cut Cricut pieces as well as the cutting guide and Cricut file. It will be sent to you on the envelope. There's a QR code on the envelope, okay? So you'll get that free with a $75 order. If you don't want to place an order and you just want the emailed cutting guide and the Cricut link, you can purchase that through PayPal at the bottom of the blog post that I'm going to put in the description of this video, okay? And then the third option, if you wanted the files, is if you wanted to join Stampin' Up! As one of my team members, you have access to my complete files library. So all of the workshops that I do every month and in my previous career, you guys would have access to those. And so it's just kind of a perk to be a part of my team. So if any of those options are appealing to you, you guys, if you have questions, you're welcome to reach out to me. I'll be so happy to address them and serve in whatever way that I'm able. If you have a question, put it below or contact me. I will put all of my ways you can contact me below in the description of the video. And again, please reach out to me. I'm so happy to serve. It really will be a joy to hear from you. If you have questions, shout at me. Take a peek at the blog and you'll see many, many, many more workshops just like these, where you can earn the cutting files, providing the kits are still available. You can earn the kits and the Cricut packets with your purchase as well. So again, if you have questions about those older kits too, just reach out to me. Let's connect and we will visit about it and we'll get you hooked up. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I'm so grateful and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.